Warning: Tsukihime is an adult visual novel with themes and depictions of sex, sexual violence, rape, gore, and abuse. Warnings will be placed before any of these pop up in the video, just be advised that these themes are in the story. Hello, and welcome back to Tsukihime. Last time, the residents of the Tono mansion held a homecoming party for Shiki, which resulted in all the residents having a bit too much alcohol. While Kohaku brought Akiha back to her room, Shiki was unable to bring Hisui to her room, as it was locked. After deciding she should sleep on a bed, even if it was not her own, he brought the maid to his room and put her on his bed. After, Shiki passed out on the bedroom floor, the alcohol finally knocking him out. He then dreamed of his earliest days at the mansion, where he locked himself away in a Japanese-style room until he was continuously talked to by a girl outside of it. It is after this dream that we start Chapter 5. Killer 1. A bright light floods my consciousness. As I open my eyes, the morning light shines through the window. I wake up from my dream. I don't quite remember it, but I remember vaguely watching a dream. It was very nostalgic. The smell of tatami. Is that what it was? Huh? That's strange. Even though I'm awake, I still smell a nice scent. Shiki. I hear a voice by my ear. Huh? Sensing something beside me, my dozing eyes fly open. A very surprised Shiki does his best to avoid any sudden noises or movements so as to not wake Hisui. Any drowsiness from his sleep is long gone, as his mind races to figure out why Hisui is sleeping on top of him. However, her peaceful sleep and her slow breathing on his chest places all of Shiki's thoughts on her. After admiring her beauty and enjoying the moment, he eventually tries to softly wake her up. If I could, I would like to stay like this forever. But that can't happen. Besides, unless Hisui wakes up soon, there will be a lot of trouble. Hisui! Hey, Hisui! I call, but she doesn't seem to wake up. Hey, it's morning! Isn't it time to get up? I gently shake Hisui. Hisui! Wake up! Hisui! Hisui's fingers start to twitch. Hisui's eyelids slowly open, like melting ice. Waveringly stretching out her arms, Hisui wakes up. She looks around the room, rubbing her eyes for a few seconds. Hisui finally grasps the fact that she is in my room and the fact that I am right in front of her. Gah! Hisui jumps out from my bed. Shiki-sama, why am I can't explain it very well, but do you remember about last night? About last night? Hisui starts to think, and all of a sudden, Hisui's cheeks turn red. You remembered? Yes, I caused you a lot of trouble, Shiki-sama. With flushed cheeks, Hisui looks right at me. Oh, sorry about that. I went to your room, but it was locked and I couldn't enter. I thought you could sleep in my room while I went to get Kohaku-san, but the alcohol got to me, and just like that, I fell asleep. Yeah, that's exactly how I remember it. But that's odd. Last night, I thought for sure... That's odd. I thought that I went to sleep on the carpet, but sometime during the night, I must have gotten on the bed. Nah, I wasn't thinking of doing anything weird to you, Hisui. I just now woke up, too. Hisui stares at me silently. I mean it! I didn't have any choice. Kohaku-san had to take care of Akiha, and I couldn't just leave you alone like that. I apologize for holding you, and I was ready for you to get mad at me for doing that. Trying to answer Hisui's direct gaze, and I try my utmost to explain. Hisui doesn't answer. She just looks over her clothes and nod. It appears that way. My clothing does not appear to be tampered with. You are innocent, Shiki-sama. Good. I breathe a sigh of relief. And I think the one who placed you on the bed was me. I woke up once during the night and saw you sleeping on the floor. I didn't want you to catch a cold, so I remember getting you to sleep on the bed. For real? If that's true, then that would explain why I was in bed, but why was Hisui sleeping on the bed too? Please forgive me. I was still a little drunk, and I thought that since there was a bed in front of me, I wouldn't need to go back to my room. Embarrassed, Hisui explains what happened. Well, I guess that makes sense. She just puts him to bed, then she pauses for like 2 seconds, completely forgets he's there, and goes, "Oh, a bed. I'm going to sleep." That would explain a lot. I see. Certainly, that's how you would think when you were drunk. I start to laugh for some reason. Embarrassed, Hisui drops her shoulders. Why is it? Even though I was only sleeping next to her, I got so conscious of it, Hisui, I'm unable to say anything clearly. Anyway, let's just keep this a secret between us. There's no way in hell Kohaku-san doesn't know this. If Akiha knew about it, she'd get angry, and if it's Kohaku-san knew about it, she'd just tease us about it relentlessly. Yes, if Shiki-sama will allow it, then it will help me as well. Yeah, sorry, Hisui. If I was more responsible, this would never have happened. I say sorry and bow my head to her. Nothing did happen, but it's still a fact that I carried a girl to my room and slept next to her. No matter what Hisui says, I think I'm responsible. Not at all. It is my fault. If I was more responsible, then you would never have had to worry about any of this, Shiki-sama. No, it's okay. Anyways, I just want to apologize. I'd actually feel better if you said something like, Shiki-sama, you jerk. You have every right to, although I don't think you'd say something like that. Ah, yes. That kind of order would be very troubling. Wouldn't it? So let me apologize. If you don't let me, then I will never trust you with anything again. Hisui just stares at me, deep in thought. Shiki-sama is really clumsy, are you not? Hisui says this in an awfully kind voice, different from before. Well then, I'll say Shiki-sama is at fault this time. I will have to let you make up for this sometime, so please do not forget. Hisui? If you will please excuse me, Shiki-sama, please hurry to the sitting room or you will be late. Hisui gives a perfect bow and exits the room. I just remain there in my bed, my mouth open and in stunned silence. She smiled. For that instant, it seemed like time itself had stopped. This isn't good. This is really not good. All she did was smile, but why am I so stunned?
When he finally breaks free from the shock, Shiki heads to the sitting room. Akiha greets him, and she's pleasantly surprised to see him up early in the morning. After spurting out a vague reason for his earliness, he quickly expresses his own surprise at Akiha, who he didn't expect to be up and alright after last night's drinking.
Of course. You should always drink considering the next day, so there is no reason to oversleep because of it. Really? But you were pretty hammered last night. Maybe you have more breakdown enzymes than a normal person, Akiha. If that's so, I'm a little jealous. Nissan, what are these breakdown enzymes? His face is fucking great. She's like, look, I thought about it, I shared the news with the console, and we all agree. We have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Shiki then explains how enzymes break down alcohol in the body, and Akiha is quite impressed at his knowledge. Shiki immediately ruins this rare moment of praise by saying he only knows this because he has a certain friend that drinks a lot. Akiha questions why he drinks so little if he's around someone like that, and Shiki responds that this friend of his drinks excessively, so he himself drinks moderately so that he can help after the alcohol kicks in. This friend is in fact Arihiko. With this new knowledge about her brother's life, Akiha says that Shiki's private life must be fun, as he has been unknowingly smiling while talking about it. She also says that he did not smile like that during last night's party, and both of these comments catch Shiki off guard.
Nissan, your face seems so happy just now. You didn't show that face last night. Well, it's true that last night was more surprising than it was fun. Shiki-san, breakfast is ready. With excellent timing, Kohaku-san's voice cuts in. I'll be right there. Well, I gotta go, Akiha. Damn. She's like, you fucking bitch.
When Shiki comes back to the sitting room, Akiha is no longer there. Hisui fills him in that she left for school as soon as he left for breakfast. After remembering that her school is far from home, he decides that he should leave for school as well. As Hisui goes to fetch his bag, Kohaku enters the room and teasingly asks about last night. Though she notices him blushing, Shiki states that nothing at all happened, and that Hisui will say the same. However, Kohaku says that the two of them seem to have, quote, become pretty good friends, unquote. Though he's confused about this statement, Hisui enters back into the room with his bag. After saying bye to Kohaku, Shiki and Hisui head to the front gate. There, Shiki tells her that he plans to return home at 4 or as soon as he finishes classes. With that, he dashes for school.
Alright, what school escapade are we getting on to today? I get to the classroom and the class starts uneventfully, as always. There's no one at Yumizuka's desk. Even though a classmate is gone forever, class life remains unchanged. That's actually kind of weird. I become a little uneasy. Because of Hisui, I had forgotten all about that. Perhaps because of the incident? With that uneasiness, my thought drifts towards the sky. Before I realized it, the school day was over. I let out a sigh. I don't really feel like seeing Arihiko or Senpai. Right now, it seems I'm just more at ease in the Tono mansion than in school. Now, back we go. I enter the lobby and immediately encounter Hisui. Welcome back, Shiki-sama. I'm home, Hisui. Are Kohaku-san and Akiha here? Akiha-sama has not yet returned. Nissan will most likely be in the rear courtyard sweeping. As usual. Well, I'll be in my room. Please continue whatever you were doing. Yes, please excuse me. I head up the stairs to the second floor. Ah, Shiki-sama? I will be in Maki-isa's room sorting things out. If you need me, please call for me. Hisui disappears toward the east end of the mansion.
After settling in his room, we are given a choice on how to spend the evening. We can, for some reason, go to Akiha's room, we can go help Kohaku, or we can go see Hisui. With Hisui stating that she would be in Shiki's father's room, my curiosity was burning to find out more, so I decided to go see her. Shiki himself wants to see her, but can't properly put the reason into words. He doesn't want to be in her way while she works, but he still desires to see her. He suddenly remembers the white ribbon still in his possession, and though she did not remember it when he initially asked, Shiki decides he should still return it. With that, he heads to the room of his deceased father.
In the old man's old room, Hisui is arranging books. Even though it is no longer being used, his room is still being cleaned like before. Hisui, can I have a minute? Ah, Shiki-sama. Yes, what is it? I know we talked about this earlier, but I thought I should give this back. I pulled out the ribbon Hisui gave me 8 years ago. Hisui? So you honestly don't want it? No, I will take it. It is important to me, after all. Taking the ribbon, Hisui becomes silent. I can't talk to her. The Hisui in front of me right now looks very much like the Hisui from 8 years ago, distant from the ones around her. Shiki-sama, is this all you came to do? I can't seem to speak, so I just nod. In that case, please return to your room. I still have some work remaining. Hisui walks toward the center of the room. Hisui, did that ribbon have any special meaning? This 8-year period? I think I may have finally fulfilled my promise, even if it was too late. Then I'll go to my room. See you later, Hisui. With that, I leave the room. Wait, that's it? Oh. After dinner, I return to my room. It's 10 at night. Since I had tea with Akiha and the others after dinner, it's already time for bed. I'm not really tired, but my body feels sluggish. It seems like I've finally gotten used to life in the mansion. Expressionless Hisui, bright and cheery Kohaku, and Akiha, who worries over me constantly. Certainly getting used to this lifestyle is fun. Wait, I just realized something. If this is any indication of it was last time, I'm dropping a save here. It seems like I've returned to the me that existed 8 years ago. I never had a chance to relax this much living with the Arimas. The Arimas have a child in middle school as well, but we were always distant and we never really had a chance to talk. I really am sleepy. Changing into my pajamas, I lie down in bed. I'll go to bed early, wake up early, and give Akiha quite a surprise. Huh? All of a sudden, I find myself in town. Midnight. I walk through the empty town. I pant heavily. For some reason, I'm out of breath. With bloodshot eyes, I am looking at people walking down the street. Foolish people. Walking the streets so carelessly, even though the killer has not been caught. Do they think they're special and won't get killed? Or maybe they want to die but are unable to kill themselves and want someone to kill them. Well, it's probably the latter. A group of people that I don't know continues to walk by. That's not the person. That's not the person. That's not the person. I diligently stare at them one by one, but shake my head. That's not the person. That's not the person. That's not the person. I still can't find that person. I definitely heard what this person looks like, but I can't seem to find that person. I'm getting a little annoyed. Not here. Not here. Not here. Not here. Why? Not here. Not here. Not there. Not here. I start panting even more. It's really ticking me off. Why isn't that person here?
With his mind repeatedly questioning the lacking presence of someone, a burst of laughter emanates from his lips. His plan for this night is going to be slightly different.
Tonight, I'll change my plan. Anyone will do. If I can kill, anyone will do. Once more. Once more, I want to taste that wonderful sensation. There. A girl with long hair walks by. Akiha. Yeah, that is Akiha. 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 My sister. My beautiful sister. Only mine. That is what I want. My sister. Only mine. She's definitely mine and mine only. I don't like where this is going.
We jump to an alley. The passerby has already been killed, but with little damage to the body. Here, Shiki sucks her blood, his breathing increasingly out of control as he does so. The thought of it being his sister brings a lustful and euphoric feeling that only climaxes after his body has already done so. This brings him back to his senses, but quickly his earlier pleasure is replaced with anger.
Huh? When it's all over, I realize it. Who is this person? This isn't Akiha at all. I'm angry. Even though I sliced the body into pieces, I'm still mad. Imposter. This imposter is pissing me off. I've used up extra energy. This night isn't that long. Once it becomes morning, Shiki will awaken. I'm tired tonight. I'll start again tomorrow. Yeah, that'll do. That's what I'll do. Now then, before the morning comes, before anyone realizes, I must go back to my own bed. Oh shit, we're actually like killing people at night.
Not good indeed. Chapter 5 has concluded with another murder occurring, and it places Shiki as the direct cause. We are not yet finished with this part, however. We will now start Chapter 6, Killer, Part 2.
I gasped for air. It's morning now. This is my room. Up until now, I've been here, just like this, and I should have been sleeping.
As his brain shocks him with last night's dream, Shiki remembers both the feeling of killing and his feeling of pleasure during it.
My throat is burning. My body feels like lead, and my hands. The feeling of breaking someone's neck still lingers on my hands.
He attempts to deny it, saying it out loud, thinking in his head, it had to have been a dream. But he recalls it all vividly, and is able to run through each event in detail.
But it's merely a dream. Since I'm here, it had to have been a dream. But that problem is, I'm dreaming that I'm having fun killing people. You and I are the same, Shiki-kun. Before my eyes, the world starts spinning. Someone who can't resist the pleasure from killing. And that crazy speed. Excuse me, Hisui says as she enters the room. Good morning. It seems that you have already awakened, Shiki-sama. Morning, Hisui. The world stopped spinning. As soon as Hisui spoke, the whirlpool that I was trapped in disappeared like an illusion. Shiki-sama? What is it, Hisui? How are you feeling this morning? You are not saying anything. Sorry, I was just staring at you. I understand. I have to go to school. I'll go to the sitting room right away, so wait for me there. Shiki-sama, if you are not feeling well, please do not push yourself. Your health is more important than school. No way, Hisui. I can't skip school. It's nothing, really. So don't spoil me like that. No, please rest. I will tell Akiha-sama, so please rest. Hisui is unusually persistent. Does my face look that haggard? Hisui, you worry too much. It really is nothing at all, so don't worry about it. I'll just wash my face, so please wait for me in the sitting room. Getting out of bed, I walk past Hisui, who seems like she wants to say more. Leaving the room, it is a little painful seeing Hisui watch me with such uneasiness in her eyes. I look in the mirror in the bathroom. I don't look like I'm sick. Why is Hisui worrying so much? I splash cold water onto my face. Just thinking about that dream I had last night makes me want to puke and not go to school. But if I stay home from school because of that, that will just be like confirming something, which makes me feel uneasy.
Arriving in the sitting room, all three of the female residents are there, meaning that Shiki is once again the last to rise in the morning.
Good morning, Shiki-san. No way! It isn't even 6:30 yet! This fucking face is gonna get me every time. Kohaku-san looks towards me with a soft smile while Akiha gets up from the sofa and gapes at me in surprise. Good morning, Kohaku-san. Oh, and Akiha, too. What do you mean, Akiha too? Well, Akiha too means Akiha too. That should be enough for someone who's so surprised to see me get up early when you tell me to get up early every day. I see. Nissan, you wake up early for once, and now you triumphantly walk around with your head held high. Head held high? Akiha... Head. Neck. Neck? I remember the sensations from my dream and feel like vomiting. Sorry, Kohaku-san. I don't mean to be a bother, but could you get me something cold to drink before I eat? Not at all. Would you like soda or fruit juice? Who the fuck drinks soda in the morning? That just... I don't know. That doesn't sit right. I'll have a soda, please. Coming right up. Bow, bow. Kohaku-san disappears through the kitchen. Or towards the kitchen. Nissan? You're not arguing back. Are you feeling alright? Jeez, you and even Hisui, what do you think I am? I just woke up early and my throat is dry. There isn't anything wrong with me. Trying to resist the urge to vomit, I shout back. I'm sorry, Nissan, but there is obviously something wrong and I want to help. No, that's not it. The fact that you're worried about me makes me really happy. I just had a really bad nightmare last night. My mind is elsewhere, that's all. I'm sorry, Akiha. I'm the one who should apologize. I sit down on the sofa. I know that something's wrong with me, but I can't do anything about it. Nissan, is there something bothering you? If it's something to do with this mansion, please tell me, and I'm sure I can be of help.
Shiki reassures her that living in the mansion isn't the issue. As he says this, he ponders talking about his predicament in an indirect way, as it might make him feel at least a little better. We are then given a choice to either tell her or not. I decided I'd ask, as I personally felt that I had avoided talking with Akiha on the last route, and that there was a possibility that she could help.
I decide that it's better to do it than not. Besides, I keep on thinking for the worst since I'm keeping this to myself. Well then, let me ask you a question. If someone does something they know they shouldn't do, would that be the result of stress? Doing something that they know they shouldn't do? Is it a reoccurring problem or just an accident? Well, it's more like an accident. It seems that the person really isn't that conscious. So you mean they're doing things while unconscious so they can't stop themselves from doing it? That's right, they can't stop. They can't even get themselves to think about stopping. In that case, it sounds like a personality inversion. Personality inversion? You mean their personality gets reversed? Yes. For whatever reason, something triggers a change in the person and their entire moral spectrum, their whole attitude gets reversed. It may be termed a disease of the mind. Don't you remember, Nissan? Father was usually a very kind person, but sometimes he would just turn cold as ice. The old man was? Come to think of it, Tono Makihisa was extremely kind one day and extremely strict the next. I don't remember that well. Do you remember Hisui? I look at Hisui, who is standing by the wall. And it looks like Hisui is trying to contain herself and can't hear my voice. Akiha-sama, please don't talk about any of that. Makihisa-sama was just a little manic depressive, that's all. I don't know if I want to continue down this, but something's definitely going on here. Kohaku-san says this as she brings a silver tray with a glass on it. You shouldn't say bad things about those who have departed. And besides, Makihisa-sama is your father, too. I know. I don't need you to tell me that. Akiha joins Hisui in silence. Here you go, Shiki-san. Thanks for waiting. Kohaku-san puts the glass of lemon squash onto this table. That is not a good name for that. Thanks. Using a straw, I let the cool drink fill my body. The rest of the time, Akiha and Hisui never open their mouth. The only cheerful one in the sitting room is Kohaku-san. I don't understand why everyone became so depressed, but the old man is definitely connected to it. Yeah, I don't like where that's going. Please be careful on your way, Shiki-sama. I'll be going. Hisui? Yes, what is it, Shiki-sama? When we were talking earlier about my old man, you were deathly quiet. Not just you, but Akiha as well. Did something happen to that old man in the 8 years I was gone? You and Akiha were both acting strange earlier. Hisui doesn't answer. I see. Well, I won't force you to answer. If you ever feel like it, we can talk about it. No, this is not something that concerns you, Shiki-sama. Shiki-sama, if you're going to live in this mansion, please do not ever mention Makihisa-sama again. Oh shit. After Hisui's eyes flash for a brief instant, she heads back to the mansion. That's like extremely blunt.
We skip to lunchtime. With Arihiko skipping class, Shiki decides to eat in the cafeteria in hopes that the crowded space will keep his mind away from last night. After waiting to buy his food, he plops down at a table and starts eating. While he does so, he catches a brief glimpse of the cafeteria's TV screen, and the image on it takes his attention away from his food. It is replaying the morning news, something usual for the school, but it's the news itself that brings great shock.
I just stared dumbfounded at the news broadcast that is several hours late. No way. I watched the news in amazed horror. Shown in the television is the alley that I saw last night in my dream. The newscaster is talking. On the screen, the words vampire serial killer's 9th victim appears in bloody lettering. After that, the face of the victim appears. The woman with long hair. She was definitely the one I killed in my dream. Suddenly, I start to feel faint. How come? That was a dream. It had to be a dream. But in reality, the same person as in my dream, in the same place as my dream, is killed in the same way as my dream. The vampire should be gone already. I killed Yumizuka with my own hands. Those killings, they shouldn't be happening anymore. I killed? Yes, I killed. Just like the time I killed Yumizuka. While breathing hard last night, that woman I've never met. Didn't I tell you, Shiki-kun? It's useless to resist it. Ugh. Quashing the urge to throw up my lunch, I stagger out of my seat. I can't go back to class. I somehow find myself running into town. I come to the place where I saw in my dream. There are several policemen around the area, and tape reading "Police line do not cross" is stretched out across the alley. Exactly the same. Without a doubt, this is the place I went to in my dream. No, that's not a dream. I can't delude myself into thinking it is a dream any longer. Even if I stay here longer, the cops will only stare at me. I can't go back to school now. I guess I'll go back to the mansion. Since it's not even 2 o'clock yet, Hisui isn't waiting in the lobby. I can say I got lucky. I don't feel like seeing anyone right now. Giving a deep breath, I collapse onto my bed. I just don't understand any of this at all. I have dreams where I kill people. In reality, the same killing has happened. I'm living today like living a normal life. I was taking delight in killing people in my dream. Just which one? Which one is the real Shiki?
Do you really have to ask?
That voice again.
Come on, let's continue, Shiki.
That voice that echoes inside my head. My voice.
Night comes every day. For sure, we'll find the one we want someday, right?
What the? Shut up! I leap out of bed. I breathe wildly. Just now, I was lusting after Akiha. Why did she have red hair? I feel like I'm gonna vomit. I don't even think about these things normally, but when I try to sleep, these weird thoughts pop in my head. It's almost as if there's someone else in my brain. Come to think of it, Akiha said something like that earlier. That was about my old man would have extreme personality shifts. It sounds a lot like me right now. Of course, like father, like son. It might even be hereditary. My old man's room, I think they still keep it like before.
Should we go to his father's room, or should we stay away? While staying put would achieve nothing, the truth that could be waiting there is both of great interest, but also fear. Deciding that I would follow my curiosity, we now head to Makihisa's room.
My old man's room is just like it always was. Nearly all of the rows of books are educational reports, and nothing catches my attention. What I want right now is my old man's journal of notes. The old man was extremely methodical. There certainly has to be something like that lying around here somewhere. Of course, they're not just lying about where anyone can see them. Maybe they're locked away somewhere. I should probably look in these desk drawers first. Using a letter opener lying on the desk, I cut the line in the drawer lock. Inside there appears to be some old documents bundled together in what seems to be a journal. First I'll look at the old documents. This is my family tree? Definitely. Right after Tono Makihisa, Makihisa being in all caps, is written Tono Shiki, Shiki being in caps, and Tono Akiha, with Akiha being in caps. Huh. My old man, he adopted a son 10 years ago? But he passed away shortly after. 10 years ago, that would be when I was just in elementary school. That long ago, it's only natural I wouldn't remember. But the heads of household have had pretty short lifespans. My old man died before he was 50, and before 30 in an accident? Wow, before that, 18 years of age. Suicide? No, wait a second. No matter how you look at it, this is strange. Looking through the family's tree, all members of the Tono household have died strangely. Madness, accidents, murder, disappearances, stillbirth. Not one of them lived a long life or even died peacefully. What? This entire document is filled with horrible fates. Even worse, most of the causes of death are madness. Most of them ended up taking their own lives. That's strange. It's just strange. But I can't exactly tell what's strange about it. Next is my old man's journal. I pick up the journal, which has a relatively new binding. Thump. My heart starts to pound. My heart seems to understand that I shouldn't be opening this, but I can't turn back now. Swallowing hard, I open my old man's journal. There is a demon lurking inside the Tono bloodline. The opening statement is in those lines. And that isn't just a simple metaphor. The ancestors of the Tono were a mixed breed of something non-human and human. We, being their descendants, also have this element of something non-human in our blood. In regards to our blood, there are those with strong and those with weak non-human blood. Those with weak non-human blood can live their lives as normal, ordinary people. But those with strong non-human blood can never live a normal life. Those with strong Tono blood are born with special powers. It could be a body that is resistant to death. It could be the inability to move things without touching them. Or it could be fangs used to take bodily fluids from other people. This blood. When this blood becomes too strong, the members of the Tono house start to gradually lose their sanity. And the majority of the members of the Tono house that lose their sanity becomes demons that feed on human flesh. So the head of the Tono household carries the responsibility of punishing those who have turned into such monsters. That's messed up. My old man, what was he trying to say? Writing so seriously that's more like a fairy tale. The journal turns more into the old man's rant. The date is roughly 9 years ago. The handwriting starts to get erratic. I am no longer able to suppress my raging blood. I was able to obtain an orphan from a family of synchronizers, so this should help me strengthen my mind. However, it really is only a matter of time before I go insane. It is terrifying. When I come to, I find that I can't even remember half of the day. During that time, I'm forcing my inversion impulse on that child. If this keeps up, it's only a matter of time before I completely lose my sanity and turn into a beast. I don't even know how much time I have left to remain as myself. No. If that child is here, then I can probably last a few more years. But that child would not be able to bear it. After that child breaks, I will have to take my own life. But until then, I must protect my children. Akiha's blood is weak. Unless she wishes it herself, she does not have to suffer the same fate. The real problem is Shiki. That child is incredibly close to me. More than anything, I do not want that child to suffer my fate. If the Tono blood is unnatural, I need to distance him as much as possible from the Tono name and see how he will fare. I finish reading in a state of horror and amazement. The contents of my old man's journal are so far away from reality that it's outright bizarre. My old man didn't just have manic depression. Rather, he just became violent without his knowing. Just like Tono Shiki right now. No, that's wrong. That old man isn't like me. I'm like him. Fearing that he sent me from the mansion. But now I've returned, and my sleeping blood is awoken. Nonsense, all of this. I try to laugh, but find myself unable to laugh it off. The Tono blood is mixed with the blood of something non-human. Those of the Tono blood have special powers? I can't laugh that off. Supernatural power. I've been carrying that for 8 years. Being able to perceive the death of things, my unnatural eyes. Gah. I feel like vomiting. I can't stay standing up. Hurry. I must hurry back to my room and sleep. It feels like there is something wrong with my head.
Sometime after returning to his room, Shiki hears a knocking on his door. It's Isui, who enters the room and apologizes for not being in the lobby to greet him when he returned. He tells her not to worry since he came home early, before asking her to leave since he wants to be alone. Isui asks if he's feeling sick, and Shiki responds that he is not sure. But this response brings a worrying look to Isui's face. Realizing that he's only making her more concerned, Shiki decides to tell her that he does feel a bit unwell. He then asks Hisui if she has some medicine he could take to let him sleep until dinner time. Hisui says she does and leaves the room to go get it.
Thank you for waiting. Please drink this. Thank you, as always, and sorry. I take the water and the powdered medicine that Hisui brought me. For some reason, there are 2 kinds of medicine. Huh? 2? What are they? Yes, I told my sister that you were not feeling well, and she gave me some medicine she had prescribed from your doctor. This one is to help you sleep. This contains benzodiazepine, which is known for being able to produce a relaxed sleep. I think I've heard of this. I trust Kohaku-san, but she doesn't have to tell Hisui all this in-depth knowledge. Wow, does Kohaku-san plan on being a licensed pharmacist? Saying that, I drink the medicine. I drink the water to gulp down my medicine. She has those eyes again. Apparently it works fast. I feel sleepy already. I'm going to sleep. Please wake me when it's dinner time. I understand. Well then, please excuse me. Hisui leaves. My consciousness starts to fade. I'll sleep just a little bit. It's still bright outside. Because it's during the day, I shouldn't see any of those terrible, horrible dreams. I added the terrible there for some reason. I don't know why. Please excuse me. Good night, Shiki-sama. With a bow, Hisui exits the room. I yawn heavily. I'm still just a little sleepy. Kaku-san's medicine was pretty strong, so I spent most of dinner in a daze. It's only about 9 o'clock. I took a nap already, so it's a little early to be sleeping. At 10 o'clock, the lights in the mansion are turned off. Well, then what should I do? I say this calmly, but I really have no idea what I should do. Just what are these dreams I keep seeing? Am I just like my father, who does things unconsciously, and did I really kill anyone? No, there's something not right about this interpretation. If I left the mansion and walked the streets, Kohaku-san and Hisui would definitely notice something. I can't explain the fact that I wake up in my bed clean when there's so much blood splattered on me. There's only one way to know for sure. Yes, if I want to prove anything, go to the nighttime city or don't sleep and wait until morning. I don't think it's a good idea to go out there. Well, this is an issue. If I go to sleep... Wait, no, if I don't sleep and wait until morning, I won't do anything. But if I go to the nighttime of the city, there's a possibility that I do something out there. Or I go back into my days and I do that, if that's what's happening. If I don't sleep and wait in the room till morning, I can't kill anybody. Theoretically, if that's what's happening. So it makes more sense to not sleep and then just wait and don't do anything. So I'm doing number 2.
Shiki rationalizes that if he doesn't sleep tonight and someone is killed tomorrow, then he must not be the killer. Though this whole situation is a bit unnerving, he can't think of a better way to confirm or deny his suspicions. With that, he steels himself for a night alone in his room, just waiting for the morning. Hours pass, and he's still awake, though definitely feeling tired. By 1 a.m., he is really starting to feel tired.
It is now past 1 o'clock in the morning. I still manage to stay awake. In just 4 hours, it'll be morning. Something's wrong. I am still conscious, but my field of vision collapses. I must stay up. I'm not sleepy yet, but why? 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 Why does my body want to sleep this much? I feel like I'm being watched. I, with bloodshot eyes, look at the people walking down the streets. Maybe it's because of the time. Compared to last night, there's hardly anyone around. Someone is watching me. I can't find what I'm looking for. Again, tonight I can't find the person I'm looking for.
I'm starting to get annoyed.
I pant heavily. I should change my spot. I'm going to stop looking in town. I go from roof to roof and end up somewhere crowded. Looking from the roof of the highest house, I scan the streets.
Don't look.
There. I see a person walking alone. A woman. This time, there can be no mistake. It'll be great if it's a Kiha.
Don't look at me.
No, it really doesn't matter. Once more. Once more, I want to taste that wonderful sensation. I kill her from behind, taking care not to damage her body. Holding her long hair, I drag Akiha's body. Biting into Akiha's neck, I suck her blood. Boring. This is nowhere near as exciting as last night. If her hair is this short, it's not Akiha at all. Boring. I start to get pissed off. Even though I slice the body into pieces, I'm still mad. Imposter. This imposter pisses me off.
Stop watching me.
I've used an extra energy. Soon dawn will arrive. Once it becomes morning, Shiki will awaken. I'm tired tonight. I'll start again tomorrow. Yeah, that'll do. That's what I'll do. Now then, before the morning comes, before anyone realizes, I must go back to school. Fuck, we really do be shifting places. But, like, before I end this, why is he going out in the streets in the middle of the night to try and find Akiha when she's probably definitely in her own room, sleeping? Like, I'm glad he doesn't do that, because that means he can't kill her. But he's just killing other people, and that's not cool either.
With this question in mind, Chapter 6 comes to a close. With Shiki learning about the unusual nature of the Tono family and being overpowered by this unknown feeling inside of him, this part ends here. I will see you next time for Chapter 7, Transparent Scratch.